Tonight's first period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers and by Papa John's. The day after every Flyers win, get 50% off your online order at papajohns.com using promo code FLYERS. Home sweet home for the Flyers as they return to South Philadelphia after that long road trip. They have not lost in this building since way back on November the 7th. The Canadians haven't lost in regulation on the road since November the 7th.
Yeah, let's take a look at our Kia starting goaltenders. Carey Price has a lot to do with that record for the Montreal Canadiens on the road. He was pulled in his last start, a rarity, a 6-0 drubbing at the hands of the Los Angeles Kings. He'll be fired up for this one here tonight. And Steve Mason looking to bounce back after a couple of losses on the end of the road trip. He'll be looking to get his 11th win of the season.
And he feels as though Carey Price will be the starting goaltender for Team Canada, the Olympics. Maybe Steve Mason has played himself into the discussion to be on that team. Interesting matchup that way. Underway here, the Flyers in their home orange jerseys, road whites for the Canadians. Flyer combinations at the top of your screen. There's Jake Voracek moving that puck to center. Michael Raffl out with Giroux and Voracek, so he gets a chance to play on the top line here, at least to start. Giroux after the puck. David Aronay for the Canadians. It is Giroux who wins that battle and sends the puck to the other side of the ice. Braden Coburn will move it ahead. Voracek could not control it, and now Andrei Markov does. The Canadian combinations now appearing at the top of your screen. Captain Brian Gionta will fling into the Philadelphia zone. Live bounce off the wall right into the slot area. Nobody able to get complete control. And then finally, Giroux swatted it to the boards. It's Simmons to Hartnell. And Scott Hartnell now on this line with Simmons and Braden Shen will move the puck into the zone. On the wall, Simmons, Shen battling. And the puck screws free to Thomas Plekanec. He'll take a hit from Hartnell as he plays it out through center ice. Luke Shen back to play it for the Flyers, sends it all the way down. This is going to be icing on Philadelphia, and there's your whistle, your first of the game. And you can only imagine what's going through that guy's mind right now.
It's a little confusing when you play against your old team for the first time, especially in their building. So Danny Briere gets that first shift over with. Michel Therrien smart to get him out there to start the game, and just takes a couple of shifts before you get used to your old environment.
Plenty of those still around, the orange and black Briere jerseys. I walked in with Danny today, and he said it's strange, but he really was feeling great about this trip. Of course, his kids are still in the area and been able to spend some time with them. And he does consider Philadelphia home now, so this is an interesting trip for him. Canadians are back one more time this year, next month, in fact. And then they'll probably be able to spend some time during the Olympic break with his kids as well. Here's Nick Grossman back for the Flyers. Nice outlet to Sean Couturier. Couturier swinging wide to the left wing. Looking in the middle. Now takes the shot, and it goes off of Rafael Diaz and into the safety netting.
Well, Danny Briere had such great numbers here while he was with the Philadelphia Flyers. He's had great numbers everywhere. I mean, look at the games. 364 games, 124 goals, 159 assists for 283 points in the 6 seasons he was here. But more importantly, look at the playoff numbers. More than a point a game, and I always loved it when he got behind the net. He used his size to kind of hide back there, and he scored a lot of big goals from back there, guys.
He did. 30 of those points came in that 1 year. The Flyers went to the finals, lost to the Blackhawks. Number 76 on the ice for the Flyers. That's Chris Vadeveld, just up from the Phantoms, just signing a contract today. Played very well for the Flyers during training camp, and then has earned himself a spot up here. It's not his first NHL game. He played with Edmonton. So he got into 28 games with the Oilers earlier on in his career, but his first as a Flyer. So he is out with Zach Ronaldo and Adam Hall. Shen will clear the zone. There's Ronaldo. Tips the puck deep. Vanderbilt gets to it. Angle drive goes wide and all the way out to the neutral zone. Braden Coburn accepts it there and gets to Kimmo Timonen. Even will wind it in, and the Flyers will go for a line change as Markov, the veteran defenseman, is back. He gets it to PK Subban. Leading scorer for the Canadians will look for Briere in center. Briere couldn't quite get a hold of that puck, and he ends up beating the puck into the zone offside. So we'll look at the virtuous scratches from tonight's lineup. Ray Bourque is out with an injury for the Canadians, as is Drewiski. Bourneval and Bouillard healthy scratches. LeCavier, of course, out with a back injury. Gill, Rosehill, and Mazzaros are coach's decisions.
With LeCavier out, Craig Berube still looking for that secondary scoring from the second line, and big reason why Scott Hartnell moves down to play with Braden Shen and Wayne Simmons, and Michael Raffl gets the chance to bring the speed to the line of Giroux and Voracek.
And also with Mazzaros out, noticed him on that list. That means that Eric Gustafson's back in the lineup for the Flyers, try to get a little offense from the blue line as well. If the Flyers win the draw, but Timonen will have to play it in the neutral zone. Timonen drifts back with it and gets to Voracek, who has goals in each of the last 2 games, trying to warm to the task some. Timonen back across to Coburn. Coburn will gain the red line and snap the puck into the Montreal zone. Raffl's the first to it. Checked. Let's say Yemelin on the wall. A puck to Voracek. He is checked. And now Jake gets back to it. Coburn flips one. That's blocked by Max Pacioretty, and down the ice it goes. Coburn, forced by Desharnais, will drop it off for Timonen. He gets it right back to his defense partner. The Flyers look to move up. Coburn for Wayne Simmons. Simmons across the line. Simmons tried to get a shot off, but it was blocked. Get it to Shen in the corner. Braden Shen out to his brother. Now across for Gustafsson. His shot hits Simmons, and down he goes in a heap. Simmons gets back up, and he's heading to the bench, hunched over as the puck is dumped into the Philadelphia zone. Centered out in front. Mason was trying to sweep the puck. Nearly got caught out of the net, but Flyers okay. Downey's outlet though, tipped away. A steal. Gianta shot. Save Mason, and he's got it in the glove.
Wayne Simmons looking to try to create a screen in front of Carey Price, much like he did last night in Chicago for a Flyers goal. And first Pacioretty blocked that shot by Braden Coburn, and Pacioretty was hurt when he went off. And then Simmons here gets hit square there.
Ouch.
And heads to the bench.
Yeah,
That's in a tough area. And he was screaming. And I'll give Steve Downey a lot of credit because, you know that you're up, but you're not really paying attention because you're looking at the puck coming the other way. So he was ready to go up and over the boards when Simmons got back here.
So he'll get his breath back and so forth and so on. Matt Reed moves out to center ice here. Reed out with Downey. And Couturier, this line staying together. That puck caught the safety netting, and so whistle stopping play. See, he's already looking better.
He is getting ready for that next shift. Michel Therrien very aware of the type of player that Wayne Simmons is, and he's got his team playing some really good hockey with the exception of the loss against the Montreal Canadiens, where they actually had a good first period. They fired 17 shots at Martin Jones, and he came up with all the answers.
Yeah, the Kings are pretty much beating everybody these days. And how about, they haven't given up a first period goal in 17 games.
I saw that. Isn't that phenomenal?
NHL record.
And without Jonathan Quick for, what, at least 10 of them.
Yeah,
already.
most of that stretch. Yeah, first it was Scrivens. And it seems like whoever they put between the pipes becomes an all-star as that puck goes all the way down. It's icing against Philadelphia.
Surprising that they went with Martin Jones again in Toronto after Ben Scrivens, of course, was traded in the offseason for Jonathan Bernier. Bernier got the start for the Leafs, but Scrivens did not, and it was the right call. Jones stood on his head again.
Yeah, went with the hot hands.
Well, the big thing go ahead, Jimmy.
That's all right, Coach. All yours.
I was just going to say that, it's so important for the Flyers to be able to get a good first period under their belt. Everybody always says, you come off the road, 6 games, you never play any good. Well, this is a must game. You got to play good here in this hockey game because you're going back on the road. You're coming off a tough game.
Josh George will get that puck in. Both of these teams should be hungry. They're coming off of games in which they were beaten handily. Kings with that big shutout win over the Canadiens, and the Flyers losing in Chicago. Both of these teams also very stingy in the first period. Grossman will drop that along. Only the Kings have allowed fewer first period goals than the Flyers, and the Canadians are right up near the top of that list as well. So probably be hard to get a lot of offense going here in this first period, but we shall see. We're 5 minutes in. Just one shot on goal thus far. Now whistle stopping play as Ryan White is in some trouble out in the neutral zone.
stick, Tony?
Couturier is going to pick up a penalty here for knocking over
High
White.
stick. Comes up.
It could be a trip. It could be a high stick, as they were both coming off the ice. Now watch Couturier right here. Gets the stick right up.
Number 14. 2 minutes. High stick.
Yeah, it's a high stick to Couturier, and that's as they were both heading to my left. So the Montreal Canadiens will get their first power play of the evening.
Looked like more of a follow-through by Couturier, but the stick did not catch White up high.
I think the fact that White's stick went flying sort of added to the visual appeal of that play, and as a result, partially of that, Couturier is in the box. Flyers have been spending too much time in the penalty box for their coach's liking of late. The penalty kill's been pretty good, although they did give up a couple last night. First time they gave up more than one power play goal in a game in their last 10. And they gave up 2 to the Blackhawks last night. You had a look at the overall numbers. The Canadiens, they're a good road team, guys, and the reason, they're special teams. They have the best road power play and best road penalty kill in the National Hockey League.
Funny how those things can have a tendency to provide wins.
So their power play goes to work. Pacioretty checked along the wall. To Briere, he'll spin it all the way out to Markov. They have 2 excellent point men, and Markov and Subban both can fire the puck, both can distribute the puck. Giroux will send that puck off the stick of Hall and all the way down. And Price will set it up for PK Subban. 24 years of age now. Makes his way to center, and from the red line winds it in. Ricochets long. Hall couldn't get it. Pacioretty does. All the way across to Markov. Markov back to Subban. And they'll set things up. 1:23 in the power play. Markov looking as he moves in with it. Spins it back to Subban. And now it's Pacioretty. Pacioretty back across. That went out of the reach of Markov. And Coburn will hit Hall with his clear, but Hall is able to maneuver to ahead, and now Giroux carries on. Giroux in across the Montreal line. Turns back with it. He's going to waste time off the Montreal power play before he sends it all the way back in.
Good read by Giroux there. Timonen was trying to join the rush, but Giroux alertly brought that puck back, didn't force the play, and allowed Timonen to circle back and get off the ice.
Now they come back in. Galchenyuk will send the puck around to Gianta. Looking for Galchenyuk again. He'll get past him out to Josh Georges, who rolls it along for Plekanec. Now it's the captain of the Canadiens, Gianta. Diaz across for Georges. 25 seconds in the power play. Diaz deals to Gianta. Side of the net for Plekanec. Pressure on the puck by the Flyers. Diaz right back to Gianta. They turn it in along the wall. Plekanec couldn't get to it. Grossman reaching for the puck. It bounces side of the net. Picked off by Raffl, and he clears all the way down.
Great job on the penalty kill by the Flyers, because what they did is they kept the puck to the perimeter. Oh yeah, Montreal had some good passing going back and forth, but if you keep it to the outside, no shots on net with Mason.
Lars Eller gets the puck back in. One last push on the power play, but Coburn tracks the puck down. Coburn now ahead. Van de Vel with the puck. A 3-on-2 for Flyers hurry. Gets to Couturier out of the box for the shot, and the save made by Price. First shot on goal of the game for the Flyers. Price was there. While we were away, video tribute to one Danny Briere on the big screen here at the Wells Fargo Center, and he is getting a standing ovation from the fans. Acknowledged it. 6 years here, and he created a lot of memories for these fans.
Well deserved. It was a great montage of some of the greatest highlights that he had as a Philadelphia Flyer, and Danny Briere had the chance to sit back and receive the applause from the Flyer faithful.
So many of those moments, as Coatsy pointed out, were in the playoffs too. If there was ever a guy who was able to rise to the occasion, he could have a regular season where maybe he had some injuries, but once the playoffs started, he was there in a big way.
Interesting watching that rivalry night show last night with the Blackhawks and the Flyers. Brought back a lot of the memories of Danny Briere's playoff run there, the 30 points that he collected playing with Hartnell and Billy Leno that year. Outstanding stuff.
Hey, think about that. 30 points in one playoff year.
Incredible.
Scoreless here. Each team with one shot on goal. The Canadiens had a power play, but did not get a shot on goal. And strike. Guided that puck along. Galchenyuk after it. Bounces free to Lars Eller. This is the young line for the Canadiens. The egg line, they call it. They were together early in the season when these teams met. Gallagher trying to get that puck out in front. He's met by Grossman. Finally, the puck is dug free by Hartnell. It's a very talented line, and one the Canadiens broke up, but they put back together here tonight, hoping that they can get some offense from it. Flyers get in the forecheck. Puck is behind Braden Shen. He didn't realize it. By the time he did, the Canadiens able to push it back toward the point. Timonen keeps it in. Now for Simmons. Simmons pushes it back along the wall. Timonen in, takes the hit from Eller. The puck bounces behind the net. Emelin is bumped by Schenn. It's whipped along by Galchenyuk, but kept in by Timonen yet again. Finally, it is poked past him. Simmons will drop it back.
I like the addition of Hartnell on this line because you don't have a guy that won't go into the corner to get the puck, especially having Hartnell and Simmons on the wings with Schenn.
Flyers ice the puck here.
Some good energy there from Scott Hartnell. The Adirondack Phantoms return to Philadelphia for 2 games at the Wells Fargo Center on Saturday, February the 1st against the Hershey Bears, and again on Saturday, February 22nd against the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. Tickets are on sale now for some great American Hockey League action.
And you never know when you might be looking at a guy who will be wearing Flyers orange and black the next day or so, as Vandeveld is one day an Adirondack Phantom and now a Philadelphia Flyer. Desharnais will lob that one in on Mason. He's going to glove it and hang right on to it. Tough to find a lot of ice to work with out there right now.
Good start for the Flyers here after Montreal, of course, was waiting here for the Flyers. Look at Vandeveld there. Vandeveld as he's put up some numbers in the American Hockey League playing for the Phantoms and now gets the opportunity to step up here with the Flyers after getting a new contract.
Yeah, it's already been a good day for him. He's got a contract. Now he's got a game. Or will have a game under his belt. We noticed him in training camp. I don't think a lot of people really knew where he'd come from. They even remembered as he played in the NHL with Edmonton, but he stood out in the preseason game.
Speed, right?
Yeah.
Can skate, and that's a welcome addition to the Flyers lineup. And they're looking forward to seeing what he can contribute, not just at even strength, but shorthanded as well.
Desharnais moving the puck ahead for Pacioretty, but he was stripped by Coburn and moves it ahead for Voracek. Jake Voracek gets the legs moving through center. In the middle, Giroux. Giroux, the pass back to Coburn for a shot, and it went off the stick and then the glass. Coburn then trying to get it out in front, but it ends up rolling back beyond the goal line. Raffl battling there with Douglas Murray, the big defenseman, the former Shark. And the Flyers end up with the puck. It's Raffl, nothing in the middle at all, so he turns back with it, hangs onto the puck, drops it off for Giroux. Giroux back for Raffl. It's in his skates, and then he's checked by Desharnais, but goes back after it. And the Flyers retrieve the puck. Here's Coburn. Checked right at the line. Giroux gets to it. He take a shot. It hit Murray and bounces to the corner. Raffl gets to it there. Raffl has 2 Canadians to deal with. His line mates are, at least one of them is heading off. Giroux stayed out. There's a shot that's blocked out in front, and Giroux got a poke at that one, and Price was there to knock it down. There's a couple sticks loose on the ice. As Downey goes right back into the Montreal zone. Downey's pass, a brilliant one back to Reed off the bench. Reed, and one of those sticks got in his way, and now the Canadians move back with it. Plekanec. Always boasted a check attempt by Luke Schenn, puts it in on Mason. Scoop it up. No score midway through the first. University game notes, and it's coming, folks. Yes, indeed, the Winter Classic is fast approaching, and there'll be some California dreaming as well. First, though, the big house, Jonesy, is starting to look like a big hockey rink.
Can't wait.
Or
absolutely.
Hockey field? I don't know what
you can call it both.
Yeah.
It's going to be outstanding, and getting the ice truck there, getting things ready to roll in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
That'll be some sight. Meantime, out west, boy, you talk about California dreaming in the NHL. In the West, the second, third, and fourth place teams are all from the state of California. Anaheim's slumped a bit here of late, but they're still fourth. The Kings are rolling right now. Anaheim's been strong from the get-go.
Yeah, San Jose actually losing 4 in a row, which is surprising the way that they have played, but they've been known to take the odd swoon once in a while, and Anaheim continues to be unbelievable at home. They haven't had a regulation loss at home this season, and came up with another big win last night. More efforts from Perry and Getzlaf, who continue to roll.
They get on Gustafson there. Kings, they just don't give up any goals.
They don't. They defend as well as anybody, right?
Downey's shot. Nice save by Price. Couturier to the puck. On Couturier, worked on by Emelin and Plekanec. Plekanec comes away with the puck. Each team now with 3 shots on goal. Flyers move the puck in. I can't say that there have been any spectacular saves by the goalies to this point. It's been good defensive play. Grossman will fire that back in. Murray after it, the former San Jose Shark, and also brief time with Pittsburgh last year. Ronaldo back around. They couldn't reach that. Emelin checked. Grossman shot, hit a body, and went to the corner. Paul trying to fight off Yemelin. Vandeveld comes in. Vandeveld trying to work through the checking. White does so. Got it to Rinaldo for a shot, and a save made by Price. Good work by Vandeveld as he used his body to knock the puck free and then found somebody. That's a hand pass called in the neutral zone to lead to the whistle.
Vandeveld doing a terrific job down low and behind Carey Price. We saw Giroux with a chance earlier this period, and the Flyers get another one here after some good hard work on the wall and a nice little pass to Zach Rinaldo, who's waiting to fire away with that shot.
You know, it's always nice to get a guy out that's got some experience, but then when he does get here, he looks comfortable. Boy, in the 2 shifts he's had, he has looked very comfortable.
Subban will wind this puck into the Philadelphia zone. Strike around behind to Grossman. And Nick Grossman headmans to Reed up the left wing. 4 Flyers moving into the zone. Couturier shrugs off the check of Markov. Got the puck to Downey. He gets checked into the net. The net hops up but falls right back on a stanchion. It's okay. And so play carries on. Strike back to get the puck. That's it for Grossman. Gallagher was right there. Now Grossman in tight quarters. Gallagher got that puck. And they pass and the shot. Eller went high and wide. Subban to Gallagher. He's not big, but he fights hard for the puck. Goes right to the net too once he gets rid of the puck. Reed the other way though for Philadelphia. Sends it into the Montreal zone. Downey getting to it for Reed. Reed takes a look. Back to the point. Bouncing puck. Timonen able to control it. Around behind for Downey. Downey trying to maneuver that to Couturier, but it was tipped, and now Eller has it. As Eller is able to sift that one through to center. Timonen gets it right back. Flyers move it back into the zone as Reed will tip it in. Canadians will recapture 7:20 to play in the first. Subban double clutches on a pass attempt, then just lobs one into the Philadelphia zone. Coburn there, but his backhanded clear knocked down by Pacioretty, who's quick. Shot one up the outside of the net, bounces high in the air. Simmons tips it, and now he's got it. Simmons ahead to Hartnell. Hartnell in the middle, off to Schenn on the left. Schenn with a shot! Fought off by Price. The rebound. Simmons will play it back out to Timonen. Timonen in along the wall for Braden Schenn. Schenn centers, Simmons shot! And it stayed out! Timonen now in the slot will turn, wide and fire. It's blocked. And then played up to the line, but not out. Kept in by Coburn. He turns it to the wall, but the Canadians able to get to it. And Yemelin will send it all the way down. This will be icing against Montreal. I got to see how that didn't go in.
I don't know. It was a great opportunity for Simmons, but some great effort in the defensive zone led to this opportunity. Watch him knock that puck out of the air, and a terrific job in transition here. Hartnell does a good job driving the net. Smart decision by Schenn to shoot the puck, and then off the rebound, Simmons gets another chance here.
Well, Simmons comes late. Now, originally, I would have loved to seen Simmons become the trailer, but he did come late after that first rush between Hartnell and Schenn. But boy, I'll tell you what, that's a great opportunity for he and Carey Price one-on-one. But still, 3 across. I'd love to see that trailer come, Jonesy.
That's what you're looking for, some depth on the rush, but the speed and the quickness of the Flyers got him in the zone and gave him the opportunity to try to hunt down that rebound from Schenn.
Simmons is officially in that mode now. He's gone 8 straight without a goal, so he's pressing. Here's Voracek with a shot. Save made by Price. Markov will play it to the wall. Gianta up and not out. Raffl kept it in. Got that puck to Giroux on the backhand. Save made. Price. Voracek battling. Subban giving him more than one shot there as the whistle was blowing. Price was able to cover up. Price having to work harder here of late. And Steve Mason has had to. Get Philly sports news and scores when you're on the go. Be the first to know the latest on all of your Philly teams right from your smartphone. Download the free CSN Philly Sports app now.
Another chance for the Flyers. Another new-look line that creates offense. Giroux the backhand with Voracek providing the screen. And Price does a good job looking around Voracek and Subban to find that box and then eventually smother it.
Drop the puck now to the right of Price. Puck bouncing around. Giroux finds it. Voracek trying to spin in front to Raffl for the shot. He scores! Upstairs goes Michael Raffl. And he has his second NHL goal. The Flyers a 1-0 lead. Raffl scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Both line changes from the top 6 of the Flyers have been productive in this first period, especially in the chances department. And now Raffl pays it off after some good work on the draw. Voracek, terrific pass. And what a shot by Michael Raffl. Glove side on Carey Price. Good stuff.
Look at the positioning. Raffl gets him right in the middle of the hash marks. Voracek puts it right on the blade. And then Price kind of comes off the pipe a little bit aggressively. So Raffl just went where he came from, and bang, it's a 1-0 hockey game.
Well, really the only thing missing from Michael Raffl's game here early on has been the ability to finish. And now he's finished a couple times here in the last 2 or 3 games. He finished with authority right there and gets some confidence. Flyers with a 1-0 lead here in the first.
Flyers up 1-0 on the back of Michael Raffl's goal. Again, the scoring started in this game. Doing a nice job playing with Giroux on this line. He keeps the puck in there. Good third man high. Voracek divides the screen. Face off in the offensive zone after that play. And again, it's Raffl. Good responsible third man. Perfect position to fire away. Good job and a good start on the top line for Michael Raffl.
There's Michael Raffl's dad, Peter, and the Flyer dads are here in attendance, taking this one in as of course, each team, a lot of the teams in the NHL at least, now have the dads make a trip or spend some time with the club.
His dad gets some tasty cakes to eat later tonight.
There you go.
Always a nice treat.
We'll learn all about tasty cake for sure. There's a hit. Hall knocked him down. Still to play that ahead to Vandevelde. Vandevelde trying to clear, and he does. Stays with it. Got it past Travis Mullen and out. Sent right back in. Flyers are there. Gustafsson. Check. Turned it over. White and Engel shot. Knocked down. Gustafsson tries the wall, but White got in the way again. So now Luke Schenn will give it a try on the other side of the ice. Head to Hall. Is hammered down by Murray, and Hall is shaken up. He gets back up. He's staying on the ice. He appeared to be shaken up by that hit from behind. Douglas Murray is one of those guys who, when he hits, he tends to hurt.
And when you hit him, it hurts. And right in front of Coetzee, Zach Rinaldo tried to make contact with Douglas Murray, and he hit the ice.
6'3", 240 pounds, it's like running into a wall. Rinaldo went down, but got up very quickly.
Coburn, one hand, he hit the angle shot there from Hartnell is blocked. Back to Coburn with room. He'll wind and fire wide. Paramount to Timonen for a shot, and that's blocked by Eller. Timonen did not get all of that shot. Puck was rolling when it came to him. Galchenyuk head to Paris. Now Timonen will keep it away from Eller. Coburn changes direction and finds Hartnell. Good outlet. Hartnell will get the legs moving through center. Try to pass to Simmons. That's intercepted. And Gallagher had a chance to move back in transition, but could not. 8 blocked shots already for the Canadians. That indicates Flyers have had the puck in the Montreal zone quite a bit.
We know that we got Zach Rinaldo as fearless right here.
Now, Coetzee's maybe not quite as fearless.
Yes.
No. I got to watch for the stick coming. Watch.
Okay.
You got to watch for the stick, and you see Zach right there. He's just going to laugh it off like, ha, ha, ha. See me? I went after him, boys.
What did you tell him that made him laugh?
I never said a word. He was laughing.
Really? Okay. Coetzee, we know you. You're brave just to be down there.
I'm getting out of the word.
No, you got a penalty right off this face-off. Interference call. And we'll wait to see who the guilty party
Far
is.
side, guys.
Looks like Alexei Yemelin's heading to the penalty box, and the Flyers will head to the
Montreal
power play. A
penalty
limited
number
number of
74. It's a minor penalty for
game
interference.
tickets for the 2014 NCAA Men's Frozen Four at the Wells Fargo Center. April 10th and 12th will go on sale to the public tomorrow at 10 a.m. on ComcastTix.com. Don't miss your opportunity to make a date with champions in Philadelphia.
Well, Alexei Yemelin goes to the box for interference. The Flyers get their first power play of the game. Chance to go up by 2. Canadians an outstanding penalty kill. On the road, they have killed off 36 of 39. As we mentioned in the NHL. Flyers power play has been pretty good here over the last couple of games. Here's Timonen holding, firing, and it went off the stick into the safety netting. Flyers 6 for 15 over the last 4 games. They've had their problems, though, here, Coetzee and Jonesy at home with the power play, and just 10%.
Interesting, especially the way they've been winning games of late at home. And if they can pick that part up here, especially timely goals on a power play like this one, we go a long way.
There is Giroux holding on, waiting. Sends it to Simmons. Simmons centers it back out in front. One pass too many as Voracek tried to get it back out to Hartnell. Now Voracek to Timonen. Right back to Jake. Jake tried to pass a shot there that's blocked. Simmons will bat it out of midair all the way back out. Giroux to Timonen. And now it's Voracek again. Taking a look. He tries a shot. Hit off a stick and then Simmons. And then is cleared up and out. Timonen hits a cutting Hartnell and across the line. Hartnell swarmed upon and could not get that puck deep. Voracek kept it in, uses his skate to get the puck to Hartnell. He also uses his skate as he kicks the puck into the corner. Simmons and Crust after it. Crust able to maneuver past Hartnell and then also get around Voracek and a 2-on-1 developing. Giroux coming up trying to even things out. Is White. A shot blocked by Giroux. And Giroux now has the puck. Claude Giroux got back and a nice defensive play there. Schenn upended by Markov after the initial contact. The crowd wanted a penalty there. They're not going to get it. And only 30 seconds remain on the Emelin minor. Will Strike, former Montreal Canadian. A draft pick back in 04. Couturier to Schenn. Schenn to Downey. Wide. Fires in. That one decide by Price into the safety netting.
Flyers had an early chance on that power play after Wayne Simmons set up Voracek. Here, a play we've seen on numerous occasions. Voracek was quick to try to fire it back to Hartnell instead of the net.
And when your captain back checks like this is what makes it all so good. Because that makes everybody else work that hard. You see, he made that a 2-on-1 into a 2-on-2, taking the puck off of White right at the last second.
Face off, controlled by the Flyers. Here's Gustafsson. He's batting along down. He could not knock it down. Subban will try to clear. It hits Buchanan's in the back. Gustafsson poked it along the boards. Fired deck right along the board. That was Schenn. Crowd again groaning. They thought that might have been a penalty, but that's not going to be called. And Sprite is back. Power play over. Back to 5-a-side hockey. So each team 0 for 1 with a man advantage here in the first period. 2:15 remaining. In this first stanza, the Flyers with a 1-0 lead. Gustafsson ahead, off Downey, deep into the Montreal zone. Subban is back. Schenn gets to him. Hall takes the puck. Hall centers for Downey, and he could not get his stick on it. Now Downey turns with it. One way, and then Markov gets a hold of him. Downey continues to control, got it through his Schenn, but went off his skate, and back the other way goes Buchanan's. Buchanan checked by Grossman, but it bounces right back to Buchanan. Centered in front, and Coburn with a nice play to range across and knock it down. Schenn moves it ahead. Downey too far out in front of Hall with that pass, and Subban takes it back for the Canadiens. 9-3, the shots in favor of the Flyers. It was tied at 3. It's been a long time between shots for the Canadiens. Pacioretty, and to Desharnais, the Philadelphia line. Flyers on that, and Grossman will send it through the neutral zone. Subban has it back. Getting boos from the fans as he gets the puck ahead to Briere. Wind up and fire. Shot blocked by Grossman. Came into this game 4th in the NHL in blocked shots. Just added another one to his total. Desharnais gets away from Hall. Desharnais will bank it back out. Murray in front. That one is a shot. He broke his stick. It went to Pacioretty. He couldn't control. Now Voracek roars back into Montreal zone. Voracek the shot, and it went wide. All the way out to Luke Schenn, who kept it in. Raffle backhands. Right there is Josh Georges. Now ahead, Pacioretty at the line, met by Gustafsson. Aggressive play. Now a nice pass to Raffle. Raffle in across the line. The right wing dish to Giroux, but it really too far out in front of him. And then Gallagher goes the other way. Gallagher to the Philadelphia line. Gallagher swings wide, takes the shot. Dave Mason. First shot in quite some time. Now Galchenyuk trying to maneuver out in front. He slid it right back through the slot area. Gustafsson was grabbed by Gallagher. No penalty call there. And Lars Eller will get to it for the Canadiens. Coburn. Hold in, the puck pops free. Galchenyuk looking for it. Simmons, knee joust out with 12 seconds remaining in the period. And it's Giroux maneuvering up with it. One last rush for the Flyers. Giroux to Simmons. Simmons on the right wing, but his shot off the stick and wide. 4 seconds. Raffle back to Simmons. Simmons behind it, running out of time. And there's the horn, ending period number 1. But a good period for the Flyers. Michael Raffle on the board. His second NHL goal, first at home. And it's 1-0 Flyers with 20 minutes now in the books. Tonight's Flyers-Canadiens first period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Also brought to you by Powerback Rehabilitation and by Supercuts. Check out supercuts.com to find a convenient salon location near you. Rock the cuts at Supercuts. Let's head back downstairs now to Coatsy as he chats with the only goal scorer of period number 1.
Michael, coming off a 6-game road trip, coming home sometimes against a team that's waiting for you, it's a little rough. You've got to be very pleased with the way the team came out and dominated that first period.
Yeah, we were trying to come out hard and play in their end, and I think we did a good job on that.
Let's talk about your second goal, because you were very excited the other night when you got your first one. You got that under your belt. Tell us about your positioning when you got the opportunity to get that shot.
I saw Jake having the puck behind the net, and he's so strong 1 against 1, so I just tried to find an open spot in the slot, and he hit me perfect.
You find your confidence level getting higher and higher now that you're putting the puck in the net?
Yeah, absolutely. That helps a lot, I think.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Thanks, bud.
I forgot. As you can see, it's Mike's on ice.
Michael Raffl on the board for the Flyers, who are now plus 11 in the first period this season. John Borek and Bill Clement will analyze as our coverage of Flyers hockey continues on Comcast Sportsnet after this. Tonight's second period from the Wells Fargo Center is brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Audi dealers and legendary Audi Quattro all-wheel drive, the world's top-selling luxury all-wheel drive system. Also brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Solid first period for the Flyers coming back from that long road trip. They outplay the Canadiens as you look at the Sugar House Casino first period statistics.
Yeah, two things show you they outplayed them, the 9 shots and the fact the Canadiens had to block 14, so the Flyers had the puck in the Canadian zone a lot in that first period. An outstanding start to the game after playing last night in Chicago with the Canadiens sitting here waiting. Good start for the Flyers.
Only goal belonged to Michael Raffl, his second in the NHL. Jake Voracek and Claude Giroux, his new line mates, get the assists. Flyers have the 1-0 lead after 1. Time for our GFC NHL update as we go to Madison Square Garden. The Rangers, Columbus Blue Jackets, that's Artem Anisimov, the former Ranger, scoring against his former teammates. And David Savard also scoring. They made it 3-0 Columbus. Rangers do get one back. Dominic Moore scoring there. So it's 3-1 Columbus as that game is through the first period of play in New York. Columbus tied with the Flyers in the Metropolitan Division. They have the exact same record. The Rangers a couple points up. The Flyers just still 3 points out of that third spot in the Metropolitan Division. How about the Twitter shots, Jonesy?
Does Michael Raffl know people call him the waffle? He probably does. We'll have to ask Coatsy that one. He knows all that stuff.
If we can get him to remember Coatsy's name, we'll be all set. Right, Coatsy?
He panicked.
Right, bud?
It was really funny. Yeah, thanks, bud.
I think in all the years you've been doing those interviews, it's the first time someone said bud.
Oh, that was
It
great.
was funny. You know, but he laughed. He laughed at me. He says, I didn't know what to say.
You should
He's
have
a
told
good
him that.
guy.
You got to get it right. Bud Finn is our
Yeah.
stage manager up here in the booth. You're Steve Coates.
Bud Coates. Bud Coates.
Underway here in the second period. Canadians chop that one out to center ice, and Brandon Prust finds it in across the line. He holds and sent it toward the net, cut off by Wayne Simmons, and he'll clear the zone. Flyers need a real good start to this second period. They've had a couple games recently where they've had a 1-0 lead after 1 and then given up a lot of goals early in the second period in Dallas and in Detroit, in Chicago last night.
Yeah, it's really been the start of the second period where both Dallas and Chicago had quick responses. The Flyers look like they're coming out here, a very determined club, to try to put pressure on the Canadiens' defense, much like they did in the first period, and see if they can't carry that forward throughout the game.
Emelin clears the zone. Coburn checked by Eller. The puck will roll all the way back to Mason. Back to Timonen, and back behind the net. Got caught up in the back of the net, so Coburn had to go get it. Set it off down into the center ice area. Markov to Subban, now Galchenyuk get across the line. Even will sweep it away from him to Coburn. Coburn turned it over to Eller. Quick shot, save Mason, rebound. And Gallagher was right there, and he was impeded a little by Downey. Then the Flyers turn it over in front. Loose puck. Gallagher looking for it. Now Reed still bouncing around. Right in the slot area. Finally, it's poked to the corner. Timonen and some rough treatment there by Eller, and Gallagher has the puck. The angle shot saved Mason, and he says, let's put a hold to things right here. Settle this baby down. He'll take the face-off in his own zone. Here is tonight's Dodge trivia question of the game. Back in the 1976 Stanley Cup Finals, Stanley Cup playoffs, which Flyer was awarded the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP? Leach, Morant, or Clark? Certainly all three had great postseason performances throughout their careers. Which one got the Conn Smythe Trophy that year? Subban will lob that one to the Philadelphia line. It's tipped ahead. Here's Briere. Briere the shot. Save Mason. And it's cleared by the Flyers out to center, but the Canadians are taking the play to the Flyers here the last couple of shifts.
Boy, he timed that perfectly. He used Grossman as a screen, and then came with a quick wrist shot.
Another shot by Briere. The save made. Grossman steers it to the boards. Giroux's over after it. Back around it goes. Racing for the puck was Streit, but he couldn't get it past the Canadians' forecheckers. Desharnais will get it back to Subban. Subban flipping one that's blocked in front by Giroux and cleared by the Flyers. He's making inroads in the chance category early in the second period. Flyers put it through Canadians' line change at center, and now backhand into the Montreal zone. Rice will set it up there. And now they move it ahead. With Parros, the Princeton product. To the puck. To Ryan White. White back to Parros. Angles it in front all the way through. Back out Diaz. Rolls it along. Back out it comes. Hall. Check. But got the puck ahead. Nice play. Got that to Gaudreau, who moves the puck into the Philadelphia zone. And a big hit by Ronaldo as he topples Ryan White. But the Canadians move ahead with the puck. Diaz beaten to the puck by Coburn. Madeville will move it deep into the Montreal zone. Move the puck ahead. Timonen pinches to keep it in, and Hall right behind him. It escaped though as he tried to dump it deep, and now Parros will move it ahead. And now go deep into the Philadelphia zone. Plenty of physical contact in this game, going both ways. Hall dropping the puck to Coburn. Coburn right back to Timonen. Now for Hartnell. Handles it off his skate, aims the line, and goes cross ice to Simmons. Simmons on the backhand, centers for Braden Shen, had a jab at it, but Weiss held his ground. And now it's cleared out by the Canadians.
Flyers do a good job of recovering there. The forwards got a little too high. Hartnell came back to help, gets the pass, and makes a great play to Simmons coming off the bench.
Rice handling it in traffic, moves it on for Georges, now Prust. And Gianta knocked down from his knees, rolls one in on Mason, and the Philadelphia goaltender covers up.
Well, let's take a look at our Wells Fargo great check of the game, and we're going to rename this the Wells Fargo Ronaldo Award. Look at this. You love that hit. All you can hear is, a lot of noise. And Mr. Ryan White, he'll be looking the next time he comes around, because what happens every time you go back and you get hit like that, your head's up and you're more aware the next time you go try pick that puck up. Great job there by Zach Ronaldo.
Ronaldo hit him again about 10 seconds later, too, and knocked White down. So outstanding shift and timely hits by Zach Ronaldo. The Canadians had carried the play in the first couple of minutes of this second period, and the fourth line stepped on the ice for the Flyers and provided a nice change of momentum.
I love those hits that look great and sound even better.
Oh, I love the sound. Just turn around and you know who it possibly could be anyway.
Markov dumps the puck in. Grossman will get to Streit. Trouble controlling. Galchenyuk after it now. Galchenyuk to Gallagher. Gallagher looking for Eller. Shouldered off by Grossman, who then finds Downey, but Downey is checked. Back in front, backhander Eller. Save Mason, and he bats the puck to the corner board. Flyers having some issues with turnovers here early in the second, as the Canadians have definitely ramped up the forechecking pressure. Grossman on the side of the ice. Couturier. There's check. Grossman moving along, and here's Downey. Steve Downey will Flooded that one out through the neutral zone. Markov back to play it. And it's intercepted. Here's Reed moving in. Reed, though, quickly surrounded by the Canadians. Puck goes back out. Gustafsson hit that puck too deep. It's butted right back out to the neutral zone. The Flyers back to play it. 5 minutes into this second period. Good touch pass by Downey as a turnover. It's knocked down by Desharnais. Briere, though, couldn't control in center. Here's Couturier swinging it deep into the Montreal zone.
Well, it's the egg line that's leading the charge right now for the Montreal Canadiens. They just came off the ice. Both times they've been on, they've been spectacular with the forecheck.
Luke Schenn ahead for Voracek. Voracek will pitch it deep into the Montreal zone. Raffl goes and gets it. Subban gives him a bump. Raffl emerges with the puck. Raffl centering for Giroux. Goes through to Coburn, who turned his back on the play. Now he turns with it, looks, holds, goes back out. Gustafsson. And now Gustafsson with a pass and escapes to Giroux. Giroux across ice. It's Coburn to it. Coburn behind the net. Voracek walking in front. Couldn't get a shot off. Bounces back to Coburn. His pass is to Giroux. Giroux looking in front. That's broken up by Subban, who then knocks down Voracek. And that's a penalty. Voracek might have gotten clipped. As he's checking to see if there's any blood. A Philadelphia power play when we return.
Well, let's take a look at our Independence Blue Cross Fearless Play of the game. And this is fearless. I talked to you about Doug Murray, 6'3", 240 pounds. Zach Ronaldo's going to say, I'm going to try to take you on. And I'm looking right at it. And, yeah, Doug Murray won that.
Most of the time you're looking at it, you were fearless there.
Well, I was just watching the stick. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of a protection situation. But that's definitely our fearless play of the game. And now the Flyers will head to a power play because PK Subban is going to pick up the elbowing call on Jake Voracek.
So the Flyers get their second power play.
Mason with a quick save there earlier on Lars Eller, and just swats it away there. You can see the confidence that he demonstrates on that save.
Also his athletic ability. Probably could play baseball, probably did play baseball when he was a youngster, and he is constantly showing us his athletic ability, whether it's handling the puck or with his athleticism making saves. Wayne Simmons getting ready here on the power play. There's a look at Mason. It's a pretty big game for him after allowing 4 goals in each of his last 2. Of course, he hadn't allowed more than 3 in his first 27 starts as a Flyer. Now, his last 2, he's allowed more than 3. Price trying to clear, and he got just enough of that. It hit a stick and whittles all the way down to Mason. Now it's Timonen. Canadians get right in on it. And they'll drop it back to Voracek. McDonald's power play payoff contested. Voracek roaring through center ice. Drops it back. Hartnell just played it to the wall. Voracek there, but he's unable to move that puck where he wanted to. Georgian will try to clear. Goes off of Timonen. Right to Plekanec. It's a 2-on-1. Plekanec with Moen. Plekanec to Moen. Moen stopped by Mason. Didn't get much on the shot as the puck was rolling. Mason took care of what was left. Now it's Giroux and across the line. Off to Simmons. Simmons holds. Spin it around. Giroux got it back. Nice. Oh, to the point. Timonen could not keep it in. That was a good play by Giroux in traffic, but the puck was rolling. And now Voracek with crust on him will tip to Simmons, who wheels it across ice. Markov on it there. He'll hit the linesman as he tried to clear it all the way down. Flyers jump on the puck and move it ahead. Here's Simmons trying to hand off to Brayden Schenn. He couldn't come up with it. Now the Flyers have it back in their own zone. Matt Reed. And he's going to drift all the way back behind his own net. 40 seconds remain on the power play. Streit with now Reed. And across the line, Reed into the slot off of Schenn to Downey. Downey takes a look. Reed holding on. Brayden Schenn is in front. The puck goes back to Streit. Now Couturier. Center point, Streit. Cross ice, Reed back to Streit. No lanes. Crowd getting anxious. Reed holding on, fires and missed the target. Now Couturier has it back, just 6 seconds on the power play. Streit wristing one. Save! Price through traffic. May have even changed direction on the way in. Now Couturier. Couturier takes it around behind the net. Dumped by Murray. Schenn picks up the puck. The power play is over. The puck kept in at the point by Streit. He's going to fire one wide. Couturier hurtling toward the board. Still centered, but Ryan White is there. And he clears all the way down. This should be icing. No, they wave it off. And Coburn to go back to play it. There was a Flyer in the vicinity.
Right here.
If he had touched it, he might have been too many men on the ice. Moving on up, Raffl for a shot. That's blocked. Raffl battling to keep that puck alive, but it makes its way to Galchenyuk. Now Gallagher. Rink wide feed. Too far for Eller. Goes Finley. Drop it off for Adam Hall. Hall banks it at Raffl. Raffl for Downey, and Downey will tuck it into the Montreal zone. We approach the 9-minute mark of this second period. Still Raffl's goal, the only one in this one. Gallagher turning with it. Cross ice, Yemelin. Yemelin, who missed the early portion of this season. Knee injury suffered last year when he ran into Milan Lucic. Led to surgery just the first part of this season. He's back now, and a big addition for the Canadiens blue line.
Big reason why the Canadiens went out in the first round against the Ottawa Senators was his absence. And a big reason why they've been playing well of late has been his return to the lineup. He's that important to the Canadiens.
Real physical element on the blue line. Gustafsson in, backhands it through the slot. Voracek over, quick shot, and that hit Gustafsson. Bounces back to Luke Schenn for a shot, and that hit a teammate. In fact, it was his brother. That's not very nice. He hits his own brother up high, but Braden's okay. And he's got the puck. Gives to Voracek. All the way across Giroux. He scores! A laser from the captain, and the Flyers lead 2-0. Giroux scores for a case of tasty cake as the Flyers double their lead.
There's been some sharp shooting going on from the Flyers in this game. Raffl with the first goal from this guy, Voracek, and then Voracek again to Giroux, and another terrific wrist shot to the blocker side, this time by Claude Giroux.
East-west, this is what this is all about. And look at the angle. Price comes out, he kind of out of control a little bit. And Giroux being a right-hand shot, he just nailed to the far corner. What a great pass, though, from circle to circle, from Voracek to Giroux.
Voracek and Braden Schenn will get the assist at 9:43. Hey, it's been going for Giroux. You almost anticipated hearing post. He has hit so many of them this year. 10-11 unofficial count. This one right on in, and the Flyers have a 2-0 lead. Couturier to Downey. Downey for Coburn. Coburn wrist shot, and it went wide, perhaps off the stick of Mattery. Briere trying to go back the other way now for the Canadiens, but his pass off the leg of Desharnais. And gathered at the red line by Coburn, and he'll send it into the Montreal zone. We passed the midpoint of regulation time. The Flyers with a goal in each period have a 2-0 lead. Reed sails one wide of the net. Simmons to it. Back around behind. Reed barrels in after it, but it'll skip through to Briere. Now Danny Briere starts up. There's the red line, backhands, but didn't get much on it. Grossman and the Flyers get it right back. Long pass to Hartnell. Little tip to Schenn. Schenn swerving on in. In the middle, Simmons shot! Glove save by Price. And he'll squeeze it. Flyers have their legs back and have a 2-goal lead as Claude Giroux finishes and celebrates with the crowd.
Hometown hero. Ladies and gentlemen, just in time for the holidays, the Windisch family has gotten their very own G.I. Joe action figure. That's right, their son, Private First Class Matt Windisch, has just returned home. Whoa.
Is that any good? What they did was that they put First Class or Private First Class Matthew Windisch in the Christmas box, and his family, who thought he was not coming home for another 3 weeks, well, it was a big surprise on behalf of the Philadelphia Flyers, and he did come back a little early. So the Windisch family from Wilmington, Delaware, have for Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, because I'll tell you what, that is just spectacular to have their son home for Christmas.
Indeed it is. They had no idea. And the surprise on their faces. That was great stuff. Here's a shot out in front that could not find the net as it deflected and went wide, and the Flyers will clear the zone. Gionta knocks it down. And Yemelin has it back, and he'll wind it right back to Philadelphia ice. Crust after it. And now backhander, and that's blocked out in front as Gionta couldn't get that through, and now Hartnell. Cross ice pass to Simmons, and he'll bounce one in to the left of Price. Flyers will change. Yemelin up the wall for Gionta. Gionta maneuvering with Hall in pursuit. Gionta centering, but Gannett's after it, but it goes all the way through. Flyers have taken a lot of shots at the Montreal net. Strike, one there with his own man, Vanderbilt, behind the net. Ronaldo doing some good work. He's then sealed off. A good check by Douglas Murray. Although he's not been able to avoid him out there. Not that he's tried. That puck goes out to the red line.
There's two things about Murray. One, he can't move, and the other is when you hit him, you can't move him. He's a big, strong man.
Pacioretty to the Philadelphia line, holds on, his shot is blocked. Vanderbilt has the puck, takes a look around, is checked, and could not get it out. Briere reaching up for it. Grossman trying to knock it away from him. Vanderbilt another crack at it. It bounces back out. Subban across to Markov. Markov wrist shot blocked. It bounces in the middle, and now Hall trying to spring Ronaldo. Exactly near the end of the shift, and it'll be icing as it goes all the way down.
Well, shop from home this holiday season and give the gift of Flyers hockey with Santa Sacks. These packs include an autographed puck, 2 tickets to a Flyers game, Adirondack Phantoms game tickets, a 2014 Flyers calendar, and more. Purchased before December 17th to ensure holiday delivery.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks away, right? It's a big day.
Yeah, it's coming fast, eh?
It looks like the Flyers have called a timeout. And with that, let's take a look at our Geico quote. Because coming off of last night, obviously a lot of people weren't happy. And Ray Emery, he had this to say about last night. The old saying, you show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. I want to play with sore losers. I don't want guys who are just content with a game like that. And I tell you what, I think that Ray's getting his answer tonight. I think that this team tonight has shown a heck of a will to come back and play well after last night's game in Chicago.
Yeah, they had that flight back to think about it. Craig Berube hoping his team would respond, and they have thus far. A lot of work to do still in this one, but at least through the first half of this game, a little bit more than that now, they have played well.
It was a nice reception for Ray Emery in Chicago, too, on his return. A standing ovation for him, much like Danny Briere received here coming back to Philadelphia tonight.
Off the draw, the Canadians get the puck to the point, but Subban could not keep it in. So Norris Trophy winner back and gets the puck to Eller, and now Gallagher. He's slashed at. And that was not called. As Eller twists and turns behind the Philadelphia net. Lars Eller out to Markov. Markov moves to the middle. Hands off to Subban to try to wrist one through, but that's knocked down, and the Flyers will move back with it. Hall from the red line will just shuttle it into the Montreal zone. Markov will track it down. Russell in pursuit. Markov able to get it ahead to Eller. Eller with speed in across the line to Galchenyuk, centering it, and it's steered wide by Gallagher. Great passing play by the Canadians, but they couldn't finish. Now Giroux the other way. Off the left wing, too far for Voracek. Backhanded back through center, right to Gallagher, and it's 3-on-2 the other way again. Giroux coming back, breaks it up again, and gets to Voracek. Voracek it across the line, crisscrosses, gives the puck to Raffl for the shot! Save, Price, rebound. Raffl could not come up with it. Gallagher does. And he'll chip it ahead to Buchanitz. Back and forth we go. Buchanitz need to center that one, but it's blocked off. And the Flyers have it back. Raffl trying to clear, and does go off Giannis stick to center, but taken back by Buchanitz. And across the line. He's wide to the left wing, pursued by Gustafsson. Around behind, Buchanitz sidesteps to check attempt. Send it in a goal. St. Mason rebound is loose. Still loose in front. And it bounces back behind the net. Here's Gianta. Without his stick now is Gustafsson. Cross-ice pass is tipped, goes to the corner. Coburn and Frust battle. The puck by Giroux, and then chopped out of the zone by Downey, and it will be iced. Icing the call. Flyers have some tired players. We'll see if Craig Berube decides to utilize his timeout. As tomorrow at 5, former Eagle Ike Reese gives you his prediction on the Eagles' upcoming battle with the Vikings and the Eagles' playoff push. Watch Philly Sports Talk presented by Classic Nissan tomorrow at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet. Unless they used their timeout already, which they did.
Yeah, on the last
I was thinking the last one was Montreal's timeout, but it was Philadelphia. So can't use that tool anymore. And Canadians win the draw. Diaz will get to Pacioretty. Down behind the net. Briere beaten to the puck by Giroux, and now it's pumped out of the zone by the Flyers. Back. Murray runs it right through to Gustafsson over the head of Downey, and Murray has it back. Pacioretty gains the line, puts it at goal, save Mason. Gustafsson turned around, Pacioretty centering. Flyers need to get things settled here as Downey will go across. There's Reed, and into the zone it goes. Flyers get Gustafsson and Coburn off the ice. Pacioretty Checked at his own line. Reed takes the puck back for Philadelphia. 5 minutes remaining in this second period. Philadelphia iced by Desharnais. And he did so from his side of the red line, so icing is called.
Flyers get the offensive zone face-off here. They were able to win that defensive zone draw with Giroux on the ice with some tired legs. He and Michael Raffl both out for an extended period of time. Raffl did a nice job in alleviating the pressure, sending the puck up high enough that they could jump out of the zone without icing it. And now the Flyers the benefactor of a Canadiens icing.
See if they can take advantage as Desharnais is tossed. Briere will step in. Make this draw against Braden Shen. Shen won it. Simmons. And now Grossman will wind up and fire wide. Oh, and out to Pacioretty. He's checked by Hartnell. The Flyers get to it. Braden Shen, but Pacioretty gets it back. Pacioretty, who scored 9 goals in his last 11 games, sends it into the Philadelphia zone. Grossman back. And now Simmons. Wayne Simmons up the right wing with it. Pops it in, tries to get around Markov. Subban is there. And Markov for Gianta. Gets past him and strike. Grossman's back for it. Mark strike. The other side of the ice. Subban over, but it goes off his stick to the neutral zone. Braden Shen. There, he's onside. Subban able to muscle the puck ahead to Gianta. And now Travis Moen. Rugged forward, burrowing up the right wing. Holds on, centers, tipped away by Grossman. Mowing back to it, and he finds Plekanec. Plekanec out to Markov. That shot goes wide all the way to the other side of the ice. And a big hit on on Downey, and he's shaken up. Couturier shot, save made. Downey is in all kinds of trouble right here. And the Flyers not happy with that hit. Hartnell goes after Yemelin as Downey is trying to make his way back to the bench. Tim McCrossin is off the Flyers bench as Braden Coburn assisting Downey as you look at the scrum. But the concern now is with Downey, who of course has already had a concussion this season.
Yemelin's going to come in right there, and Downey has his head down. Now, Yemelin really didn't make the decision to pinch until the last second. Boy, did he jump a little bit. He seemed to jump a little bit with that elbow, but well, hopefully Steve Downey, who had a concussion earlier this year, will be all right. We'll be back with the score, 2-0 Flyers.
It's up 2-0 here. We showed you before the commercial break Steve Downey going down after that hit by Alexei Yemelin. It's a chicken wing play where he puts his arm out and catches the head of Downey, knocking him to the ice. The officials got together and had a little discussion about it after not calling it immediately, but you can see that arm is lifted with the intent of making contact with the head. The principal point of contact is Steve Downey's head, and there will be a penalty coming to Alexei Yemelin, although they have not put it up on the board just yet.
Well, Tom Cowell and Greg Kimmerly, along with the linesmen over there, discussing what they thought, what they saw, and you could see that in the one angle, you can see Michel Therrien is pleading his case right here, but there is going to be a penalty. You can tell that Therrien's pretty upset, but the bottom line is Yemelin.
And based on the fact that he's standing over by the Canadiens bench,
well,
means that I guess he's not getting one as
going on to the bench right now, but over
or
comes.
is he leaving?
Yeah, over comes Cowell to make or check that. It's Kimmerly going over to make an announcement. It is a power play. Blue Owens clearly telling everybody it's a power play. Nothing up on the board as yet, but now
5-minute major and a game misconduct.
Someone needs to show Yemelin where the door is to head to the locker room as he leaves now, and the officials get it right. There's been a lot of suspendable plays that there has been missed calls on the ice, and this was not the case as all 4 of the officials got together and made the right call.
So the Flyers with a 5-minute power play here, a chance to really open this game up because, of course, they can score multiple goals here. Canadians stay down a man even if the Flyers score, since it is a major penalty. And as Josie mentioned, the Canadians lose the services of Yemelin for the remainder of the game as well. So far, the Flyers having trouble getting control of the puck here as Moen is all over Giroux. And it works through to Hartnell. Sometimes with these major penalties, you think, almost a mindset where, we got a lot of time in the power play and there's not that urgency, and that's a mistake. But here's Giroux with urgency, but a shot and a rolling puck went well wide. Ryan White checked along the boards by Hartnell. The Flyers get the puck back. Giroux, teaming in play catch, teaming in the shot, and that's blocked in front by Georges. They're the best shot blockers in the NHL. And the Canadians have it now. Brust sending it off White, stick into the Philadelphia zone. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the second period. A little over 4 remaining in the power play. Timonen slowly starts up and then drops the puck back to Matt Reed. Reed, as for Brayden Schenn, who could not control it cleanly. And it's sent back down into the Philadelphia zone. And now Reed. Moving up, cross ice pass Couturier. It's a step. Rolling around the boards. Flyers try to get things set up here. Schenn to Streit, and now Schenn. Back to Streit. Cross ice pass Couturier. Streit will fire. Deflected and went just wide. Now Reed to Couturier. Back to Streit. That was good at getting shots through last night in Chicago. It's the puck to Schenn. All the way across, Couturier, back to Streit for the shot, wide. Reed, the carom shot, and the save made by Price with the pass. Reed digs to get the puck free, roll it back up. Couturier is there. Couturier moves in along the boards. 1:45 in the period, he gets it back to Streit. Now Brayden Schenn. Streit. No lane. It's to Couturier, who winds and blasts. Save Price, and he's able to cover. There's a Flyer buried in front. Raffl trying to look for a rebound, and the porch was cleared.
Some good opportunities for the Flyers here in the early going of this power play created by Steve Downey, who was concussed earlier this year after having a fight with old Patty there of the Washington Capitals. After taking a couple of tough punches, Downey missed a couple games but would come back, and here you can see the elbow of Yemlin extending outward to the head of Steve Downey, and a 5-minute major called, and unfortunately for the Flyers, Steve Downey injured on the play.
And you just got to hope he's okay. I mean, obviously, when you take a look at that in this world today, the first thing you think is concussed. You just hope that he goes into the quiet room, and it's not what we all think.
We'll try to get a report. 1:25 remaining in this second period. Flyers remain on the power play. Timonen scoops one deep into the Montreal zone. Simmons. Timonen in there after the puck. 4 Flyers right now beyond the goal line in the Montreal zone, trying to dig that puck free, and they do. And off the side of the net, now Simmons jams it to the other side of the ice. Buchanan turned back by Simmons and Giroux. Still has the puck, and the veteran forward will try the other side of the ice and clear the zone. Jake Voracek has it now. To Giroux, and now Streit, winding it deep. Price got his stick on it, it bounces out. He has sent it off the boards, but in the slot, the Flyers have it. Streit then checked, and it's cleared all the way down by Moen. Mason will try to stretch pass. He's got Reed. Reed centering it in front. The shot and the save on Schenn. Made by Price, and it's cleared back down the other way. Nice pass by Mason to start that all. And Schenn denied by Price. Voracek. 17 seconds remaining in the period. Streit, right wing feed. Couturier in. Turns with it. And could not get that puck back to Streit. It's cleared all the way down by Montreal. That will just about do it for the second period. 5 seconds remain. Gustafsson has a look, but that's all. 1:15 remaining on the Yemlin penalty time when the third period begins.
Quick look at that outstanding play by Steve Mason. Head up all the way. Notices the Canadians going for a line change. Pass is perfect to the tape of Reed. And the quick opportunity for Brayden Schenn as the breakaway attempt is stopped by Carey Price.
Steve Coates downstairs with the captain.
Gee, last night a tough game, but I'll tell you what, you guys are on fire right now, and obviously you want to say, hey, forget about last night. Let's do a good job here tonight in front of our home crowd.
Yeah, we're going to keep working here. Last night we had a good first period and kind of stopped playing, but tonight we're going to need a big third period here.
You've hit so many posts. Maybe that's going to change now. Talk about the goal that you scored.
Yeah, they're the worst. Hitting the post is kind of frustrating, but you know what? This time, luckily me, it went in.
Gee, thanks very much.
Blue Claude Giroux. Sans mustache, I think. Looks like he shaved it off. Scored a goal. Tonight's Flyers Canadiens second period brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. Also brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $40 million. So play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvania's players must be 18 years or older. And also brought to you by American Hustle in theaters December the 20th. John Boric and Bill Clement are back with more analysis of this one. Flyers with a 2-0 lead through 40 minutes of play. Tonight's third period on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. And by McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size iced coffee, or sweet tea is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Happy holidays to everybody out there.
Yes, it's been a happy week for this guy, Michael Raffl. He's picked up his first National Hockey League goal a couple of games ago against the Ottawa Senators. There he is with that puck that he'll keep forever. And Michael Raffl playing with some confidence here tonight. Gets moved up to the top line from the opening faceoff and does a nice job playing with Giroux and Voracek carrying the opening goal of the game. And has made numerous good plays with the top line.
2 periods complete now. Let's look at our Sugar House Casino statistics. The Flyers still have the edge in shots.
Mason a little busier in that second period, especially in the first 5 minutes, and came up with a couple of key saves. And the Flyers eventually got their legs going in the other direction, and Claude Giroux ended up picking up the only goal of the period.
His 6th of the year. Voracek, his second helper of this game. He has a lot of points against this Montreal team. Our GMC NHL update. The Leafs and Blues, it's been all St. Louis. David Backes got the scoring started early in the first period. Jaden Schwartz with his 8th. Making it 2-0. Derek Roy with a 3rd straight goal for the Blues, who are playing some great hockey overall this year. The Leafs, not so much. They've lost 7 of their last 9. And surprise, surprise, look who's back on the bench for the Flyers.
Great news for the Flyers. Gallagher in the box serving the remainder of Alexei Yemelin's 5-minute major. And for Yemelin, he'll be happy that Downey's back on the ice for a couple of reasons. One, the player is not injured. And number 2, maybe that helps him avoid any further discipline.
I would think so. I would think so.
It does tend to be that way. If the player is injured and caused to miss time, the possibility and severity of the suspension tends to be realized. Flyers with the puck, teaming it. For Giroux, last minute now of the major. Hartnell for a shot, and you heard it clank off iron, and out to center ice it goes. Those two beginning to get that symmetry together again. Giroux to Hartnell for that one time.
Scored that goal against Detroit, where he set himself up into the slot area and fired it quickly.
Price throws that puck away. Simmons is overtaken along the wall, and the puck cleared out to center.
I love when he gets himself into the middle of the box. In other words, he doesn't have the box collapse on him. He gets a great opportunity on net.
Cross ice pass Giroux. Giroux holding on, then back out. Coburn shot, that's blocked by Prust. Bounces to Voracek, 20 seconds on the power play. Voracek looking in the middle, nothing there. Back out to Coburn. He'll wind up and fire again at the play down high and wide. Okay, back out in front. Off of skates. Now Hartnell gets to Giroux. Power play about to end. Giroux gets it back to Coburn and wind and fire. Through Hartnell and wide. Back out to Hartnell, reaching for it. He and Prust come together. Hartnell gets to it. Finds Coburn. He'll wind up and fire again, and that hit a body and bounce to the corner. Power play is now over. So the Canadiens get through the major unscathed. This is still a 2-goal hockey game. 18:35 to play here in the third. Ryan White into the Philadelphia zone. Turn with it and go across ice. Quick shot by Pacioretty. And off of something in wide. Couturier up the wall, had it bounce all the way across ice. Pacioretty gets to it. His wrist shot hit a body, bounces high in the air into the slot. Stick was being tied up. Couturier couldn't get it free, but no call. Flyers clear the zone. PK Subban right back on it. And Mason's going to hang on to that puck.
Sean Couturier looking to try to loosen the puck up in the defensive zone here, and David Desharnais takes that stick and puts it under his arm. for a quick second. No call there.
Twitter shots from the second period. People upset with the Canadiens' response to that hit. Mason certainly has been a beast. And DC Hawkeye, you have a fan there, Jonesy.
Thanks, Dad. Always good to hear from my father during the show. He's on Twitter all the time.
I'm not sure.
80 years old now.
Not sure. Your dad thinks that highly of you.
How to get the nickname Hawkeye.
He doesn't miss a thing.
Laganis for the Canadiens, missing Subban with that, and it'll go all the way down. Gustafsson back to play it. Gustafsson circles the net. And now ahead to Ronaldo. Ronaldo will chip it in. Schenn will chase. And he makes his way back out to the neutral zone. Gustafsson for Ronaldo. He'll backhand it in. Price. And Murray. Dwyer, Zeller. And the Dane. Circle back. Zeller on the right wing. Move in with it. Centering pass. Save. Mason with a pad. Owen just flipped that one toward the net and wound up becoming dangerous. Here's Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher checked from behind. Lost the puck. And the Flyers will move back. Here's Reed. Just sifting that one through deep into the Montreal zone. Flyers want to make the simple play, get that puck deep. No turnovers at the Montreal line. This team can feast on those kind of turnovers. Grossman trying to clear. It's jabbed at, and finally Reed surges to the puck. Reed through center ice. Gains the Montreal line. Flings one wide of the net. That's going to go all the way out to Gallagher. And here go the Canadiens. Gallagher to the Philadelphia line. Then he's stopped there by Timonen. Subtle play, and then he jabs it ahead to Couturier, who from the red line clears it in.
Great play by Timonen there, just smartly taking away a little time and space from Gallagher, one of the better players for Montreal in this game, and forces the Canadiens to have to regroup.
Finally got a trailer in Downey, but Reed elected, which was fine, to take the shot. But if you're going to take the shot, make sure you hit the net.
Giroux to Voracek. Voracek in across the line, sends it in on goal. That's gloved by Price, and he'll squeeze it.
Well, the holiday season is upon us, and what better way to celebrate than in a suite at a Flyers game? Invite 12 to 80 guests and get an autographed Flyers puck to give to each one. December and January games are still available. Call 215-389-9500 to book your premium holiday party. And it is a party.
No doubt about that. Flyers in their 6th set of back-to-back games this season. They're 3-2 in the back half of those. Luke Schenn's shot here goes high off the glass. They've won each of their last 3. In the supposed to be tougher game of the set. Schenn's shot here. Save Price. He's got it in his equipment. And so they try to make it 4 straight wins in the back half of the back-to-back situation here tonight. And some of the dads taking this in from one of those suites.
Scotty Hartnell's father's up there. The Schenn brothers' father's up there. Steve Mason.
Jay Rosehill is with his dad.
Perfect way to watch the game.
Well, Jay seemed to be having a good time. He'd rather be on the ice, of course, but Vanderbilt got the call. Rosehill's done a good job in and out of the lineup and being able to contribute when he has been in and
He's been
come to
spectacular.
the aid of his teammates.
Well, I think he's really shown all of us a lot about his ability to be able to handle himself out there. I mean, he just knows his position, knows his job description, gets in out of the lineup, like sitting there tonight. He understands. He gets told by Craig Berube, listen, I just don't need you tonight. So bang, understands it, and next time he's needed, he'll be back in the lineup.
Getting guidance from dad, for sure.
Yes, it always helps. And the occasional tweet goes a long way.
I just set you up for that. I was waiting. I'm sure Jay's dad is active on Twitter as well. Here's Gustafsson. The Raffle, he'll backhand into the Canadian zone. Plekanec gets it back. Now Murray back. Plekanec moves up with it. From the red line, he'll dump it in. Gustafsson back. It's a pass Gianta all the way out to Raffle. Raffle, cross ice pass for Voracek, gaining the line. Voracek, he holds his pass for Luke Schenn. He was checked, and now it's numbers the other way. Gianta, he has Plekanec with him. Gianta winds, fires, save, Mason, and no rebound. Controlling the rebound there is so important for Mason. Gianta was waiting for that puck to pop loose. It never did.
Huge save by Mason as the Flyers try to push the pace offensively. Luke Schenn gets caught a little bit there, and then the goaltender Mason comes up with a game-saving save right there. Outstanding job by Mason again.
And Coburn is the guy that makes sure that he takes the shot right there. That becomes one-on-one. The goalie usually yells, I got the shooter, I got the shooter, I got the shooter. And when Coburn took that pass away, it's just one-on-one, took the 5-hole away, and great save by Mason.
He had the shooter. The puck goes behind his net. 7 odd-man rushes in this game. Eller changing direction on Coburn from his knees, got a shot off. Save made by Mason. Trust behind that, that's cut off by Timonen. Tries the glass. Markov got a piece of it. Then it's Gallagher sending it down low. Eller chopping at that as it took a strange hop. And then Couturier trying to clear, and it deflected into the Philadelphia bench.
Off of the Canadian stick, so the face-off will come out of the Flyers' end there. A couple of puck battles won by the Montreal Canadiens. Their defense are going to be pressing the issue here in the third period, down by 2. And you got to be ready as a winger to make sure you win those puck battles, or at least tie them up and wait for help to arrive to get that puck out of the zone.
So we wait for the puck to be dropped in the neutral zone, and Flyers do gain control. Grossman dropping it back. Now he gets the puck again. Out of the reach of Raffle though with that, so it's icing. You don't want to do that. You don't want to have an unnecessary face-off in your own zone.
The plan was to try to tip that off the stick of Raffle. Didn't work out. The Flyers Wives Carnival Sunday, January the 26th at the Wells Fargo Center. This is your chance to see the players off the ice, up close and personal. Tickets are on sale now at FlyersCarnival.com. All proceeds benefit Flyers charities.
Danny Briere on this draw with Giroux. It goes back to Diaz for a shot that went wide. Voracek backhand. That's knocked down. Briere sending along the boards. Voracek knocked it down and then had to go to center. Giroux gets it back. Claude Giroux in across the line. Giroux the shot. Bob save. Price flashes some leather right there and makes the stop.
Good work by Voracek and Giroux. Again, helping each other in the defensive zone and eventually getting that puck in a position where Giroux can fire it around the screen of Douglas Murray.
That's a pretty good screen. We talk about how big Doug Murray is right there. And with that stick, it looked like it could have gone between the legs or actually just to the right of Murray. But give Price an awful lot of credit because he's got a last look at that, and that thing was cooking pretty good.
Flyers have nearly doubled the Canadiens in chances. Saw the numbers for Price against the Flyers. Of late, they haven't been all that good. He's lost a lot more than he's won in recent games against the Flyers, especially here. Flyers have won 5 in a row against the Canadiens in this building. Timonen chops that one wide in Montreal net. And now it's up the wall. Timonen again keeps it in. Just pops it back into the corner. George is leaned on by Hartnell. Gianta's pass off of Schenn. Simmons across ice. Settling it, Coburn for a shot that went wide of a crowd in front. All the way out to Timonen. He'll fire one. That goes off a stick and then out of play. 13:29 remaining here in the third.
Flyers up 2-0 here. Jake Voracek, a big part of that. He has scored goals in back-to-back games. In this game, he's the assist maker. Beautiful pass there to Michael Raffle to get the scoring started. Draws a penalty there on PK Subban. Fights through it. It makes a terrific pass to the captain, Claude Giroux. Puts a smile on Giroux's face and gives the Philadelphia Flyers the 2 goals in this game on the terrific passing of Voracek.
Voracek getting his game together in terms of the points. He also now has 13 points in 12 career games against the Canadiens. One of those teams that he has had success against. Broken stick right off of that face-off for the Canadiens. Zeller has a new stick as the Flyers have the puck. Gustafsson and the red line will send it in. 10 other games in the NHL tonight. Looking at the scores, upper right-hand corner of your screen. Or in some cases, the lack thereof, or just the schedule. They move the puck ahead. Couturier. Checked by Gallagher. And now here is Downey getting it out to the neutral zone. Jay Subban trying to get away from Reed. Now Lars Eller. Georges back for Eller. Good checking in the neutral zone by the Flyers. Downey out on the ice there. Pops it into the Montreal zone. 7.5 minutes into this third period. Gallagher across. Galchenyuk moves in. Quick shot goes wide. Grossman to the puck. Up the wall, out of the reach of Ronaldo. Sent wide of the cage. That's Gianta to Galchenyuk. Centering! And it's fired wide in front as Lakanitz was there. And now Hall will move it ahead. Ronaldo could not reach that. And it's Grossman back. We'll go across to Streit. Streit backhands it ahead. And the Flyers muscle the puck to the neutral zone. And Hall from the red line will send it in. Streit, by the way, celebrated his birthday yesterday. He turned 36 years of age. The Flyers get the puck back. Coburn to Timonen. Now Timonen will bounce one toward Price. Bat that one away. Murray is checked. Like rolling free and it's dug out of there. And Desharnais will move it on the right wing to Pacioretty. Shovels it deep into the Philadelphia zone. Briere after it. Coburn there first. Dvorak, nice tip pass there, but Giroux couldn't quite catch up to it. And the Canadians get it back. Desharnais. Desharnais was ripped a little bit by the mayor of Montreal earlier this year. He's actually played very well since then. Motivational speaker, the mayor of Montreal.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the mayor of Toronto, you're fine.
Very good point.
Well, he's having a comment next week.
Oh, no. It'll probably be on video, too. Here's Gustafsson.
Keep him away from the Winter Classic.
It might make it more entertaining than it already is. It's going to be entertaining. It's that much more so.
I don't think we need
it. Attendance. Here's Simmons after the puck in the Montreal zone. Couldn't come up with it. Schenn knocks it away, and now Braden Schenn to it. Turns, centered for Hartnell off the skate. Back out to Gustafsson. Cross ice. Luke Schenn. Shot is blocked. He keeps it in the zone. Has it again. A little wrister. That's blocked, and Subban looks to lead the rush the other way. It's DeBrust up the left wing. Luke Schenn got him and the linesman. 2 for 1 for Luke Schenn right there. That's going to make some highlight reels right there. Now White is shot. That goes off of Parros and wide. And the Flyers get to it. Gustafsson sending it out to the neutral zone. We approach the midpoint of this third period. And White will flutter that deep into the Philadelphia zone. 41 hits. Some of them have been heavy hits. Some of them have gotten officials. Downey up the right wing. He'll wind and fire. Shot blocked. Gets it back. Send it weakly to the side of the net. Price took care of that. And Brian Gianta, the former Devil, bounces it to the right of Mason. Fighting Galchenyuk after. They cancel. Grossman to the puck. Man on his swing attempt. Comes out in front. Reed in good position. And he one-hands it to the neutral zone. Gianta is back to get it. Canadians past the midpoint now of the third period with 16 shots on goal. Flyers done a good job defensively.
Done a great job of really tying up the neutral zone. You can see Subban right here trying to get through it, but boy, they've done a real nice job all night.
Offside the call. We'll be back. 2-0 Flyers here, third period. Coming up after the post-game show, Chevy Malibu Sports Night. Time for a preview. Amy Fadul and Neil Hartman down in the studio.
All right, JJ, thank you very much. You know, the Eagles have won 5 in a row. They take on Minnesota this week, and this team has been winning as a team. It's a very unselfish group, and Derek Gunn will have that story from the NovaCare Complex today.
Also, the winter meetings for baseball wrapped up in Orlando today. The Phillies did make a move, bolstering, I guess, their rotation, and we're going to hear from the manager on hoping that Ryan Howard bounces back. All that and more coming up.
That's right, and also Flyers coverage. After our Flyers coverage, we'll be with you with Chevy Malibu Sports Night. But right now, let's send it back to JJ, Jonesy, and Coatsy and see if the Flyers can hang on that 2-0 lead.
All right, Neil, thank you very much. Steve Mason certainly intent on making that happen. He has stopped 16 Montreal shots in this one.
I made sure that Greg Dvorsky, the linesman, was okay. We got a little help from Steve Downey to get back up after getting that check.
Rust and Dvorsky taken out by Luke Schenn. There is Timonen from the red line, sending it into the Montreal zone. Price played it up the glass. Flyers get to it. Raffle is upended, but that puck to Voracek. No! Raffle is shot in the save made by Price. Not shy about shooting it anymore, is he?
He's not. They've got some chemistry going this line.
Voracek barrels on in all the way around, turns. Over to Giroux. Giroux takes a look. At that, turns with it. Cross ice. Raffle will deal it back to Timonen, and now it's Raffle in the corner. Markov able to sweep it away from him. Coburn's going to race in after it here on the pinch. And now the puck is lobbed up in the air. Giroux gets knocked into, and another linesman, this time Scott Driscoll, ended up involved, but he didn't go down. He's a pretty big guy.
He is.
There's Gustafson to Giroux, and deep into the Montreal zone. 8:25 to play in the third. Guys are trying to shut things down. Simmons for Hartnell. Sealed off by Murray, but then Hartnell goes back and gets the puck. Out to Luke Schenn. Schenn a shot! It made its way through, and Price made the save. Covered, and then some punches being thrown in front. Murray was upset. His helmet ends up off, and other players involved.
Well, let's take a look at our Hyundai save. That was a good one there by Price, but we got a better one for you. Steve Mason, 2-on-1. Montreal coming the other way. Steve Gianta's going to wind up. Look how close he is. He's got mechanics with him, but no. He's going to elect to take the shot, winds up, and tries to go 5-hole. Steve Mason says no, and that's our Hyundai save of the game.
And the Flyers get a chance just moments ago. Luke Schenn with a good decision to get the puck through after Hartnell gets it back to the point. Hartnell and Simmons in their office there, and Carey Price does a nice job of squeezing that puck and the punches that follow after the scramble around the Canadiens netminder.
Boy, the defensemen for the Flyers have been very active. I think Coburn probably had 4 or 5 shots in the point. Luke Schenn being very active also. I don't even know how that one got through. Price had to come up with a good save, just being technically in the right spot.
The draw is now to his left. Comes free. Downey couldn't get a shot off as he was checked. Now Markov, Eller, Truss trying to get that puck out of the zone. 7 minutes plus now without a shot for the Canadiens. That's how smothering the Flyers have been here in the third.
Really good job in the neutral zone. The Canadiens have had a difficult time in transition, and the Flyers want to continue to do that here.
Gallagher gets the puck in easy for me to say. Now Strike. That's up front. And Downey will just clear the zone. Josh Georges will go back to get it. We tick down to 7.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Flyers, a team that played last night and had the flight. End of a long trip. So fatigue's a factor. You'd think it would be in favor of the Canadiens at this point. Trust with a pass for Eller. He's checked. And Giroux takes it back. Flyers seem at this point to have their legs. Coburn to Giroux. Quick pass for Timonen. Timonen will play it softly into the Canadian zone. Diaz for Gianta. Got around Voracek, and the Canadiens start up. Galchenyuk across to Subban. Now Gianta, he is stopped as the puck is kept in by Diaz. All the way around he goes to Voracek. Look at those scores now, upper right-hand corner. Loose puck, look out here. Galchenyuk, a shot! It drops down into the blue paint and they score! No goal! They're waving it off as they're saying it was batted in. Gianta begs to differ, but the call right away from the referee is no goal. Puck batted in by the glove as the Canadiens come very close to making this a 1-goal game.
Greg Kimberly's the referee. He's going to come over to the box. He was the one that was standing right beside Mason as we look to Claude Giroux. Hopefully he's okay.
There's the contact by Trust on Giroux, and he
On the
went
ice,
off
we
a
have
little
no goals.
gingerly.
The
And
puck was
let's
directed
take
in
a
with
look
his
at
glove.
the
The play is
batted in
under
play
review.
by Gianta. The puck lays there, and Gianta's going to die for this puck. He's arguing that he got it with his stick, and the referee saying it was his arm that bumped the puck into the net. And there you can see from that angle, difficult to tell, but the referee was in a much better angle than that camera. And there's the little bump right there with the glove. And the referee in perfect position to make the call.
And he missed it with his stick. He had the stick right there. Here they're going to give you a better look as the stick is going to kind of go by the puck. Right there. There's the puck. And here comes the stick, and then you can see the glove come next. And we're going to have another really good angle right here. Look at the glove, left glove. Yeah.
I'd
No
call
two
that
ways
the
about
best angle, wouldn't you?
Yeah. That was definitely the best angle, and that's a good call there by Greg Kimberly right there. And his positioning was perfect.
While Coatsy was explaining that, the call was made official. No goal. So Arians' team still down 2 goals. That initial shot taken by Galchenyuk, he can really fire it.
He can. That was a terrific wrist shot. The young man trying to make the U.S. Olympic team and still has his name in the mix, which is outstanding for a 19-year-old that was playing in the World Junior Tournament just last year.
Played quite well in that tournament. And then rode the momentum. And the Canadians started really well with him. He's been good this year. Again, we've talked about that egg line. Eller, Galchenyuk, and Gallagher.
The only reason they were ever broken up was trying to get other lines going.
Exactly. Even sent that one off the glass and then the safety netting. No penalty. And the face-off in the Philadelphia zone. 6:10 on the third period clock.
Well, the Flyers have a busy week. They take on the Washington Capitals Tuesday at 7:30 at home and the Columbus Blue Jackets on Thursday at 7. Get a ticket plus food and drinks in the Lexus Club starting at just $85. Call 215-218-PUCK or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. Kind of a home and home week, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of them. Gotta like those. Usually builds up a little animosity.
Division rivals.
That Washington and Columbus now in the Metropolitan Division, which is still jam-packed. Columbus is winning at last check in their game 3-2 over the Rangers. The Flyers were able to hang on here, and Columbus. They remain in the exact same record, and they both just move up closer to that number 3 spot in the Metropolitan Division. Eller tried to center here, but that one winds up going all the way down the ice. 5:40 remaining in the third. Price played it ahead, but the Flyers get to it. Couturier. Now Markov to Subban. He pivots. And still remember Subban here. Remember in the playoffs, Mike Richards had some battles. Subban keeps that puck in. The shot goes off of a stick or skate wide. Gotten to by Galchenyuk. And the angle, and he fired that one into the safety netting. Off of a stick. We'll take one last break. 2-0 Flyers in the third. Tonight's Flyers-Canadiens game was brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Wells Fargo. If you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far.
Well, let's take a look at our Toyota turning point, and it's going to come here in the third period of the shot. Galchenyuk getting a real hard shot, hits the chest of Mason. It's sitting right there. And Gionta dives for it, tries to get it with his stick, but no, he gets it with the glove. Greg Kimberly says no goal, and that right now is our Toyota turning point and a very important part of this hockey club, or game rather.
The draw to the right of Mason. Canadians win it. Comes across to Georges for a shot. Save Mason to the corner board. Buchanan's couldn't get that one through, and now the puck is in the neutral zone. Buchanan's banked it. There is Strike. He stopped. The puck will skitter across ice. Grossman from the red line flings in. Less than 5 to play now as Hartnell gets to the puck. Hartnell with new line mates in this game. Aiden Schenn, Wayne Simmons. Schenn and Diaz after it. Simmons there, he's checked, and finally the puck to center. Galchenyuk looking for it there. Across ice, Buchanan has it. Got it as far as Grossman, who hammers it down the ice. That'll be icing on Philadelphia.
More good, strong play in the neutral zone, though. Simmons helping out there. Nicholas Grossman being strong on that puck. Just got a little too much of it, and the Flyers will have a defensive zone face-off here. And try to get this draw back against Danny Briere.
Danny Briere's return here. Pretty quiet. Couple shots on goal. Got that draw back to Markov. And now Subban driving one wide. Now Briere's shot. And it went wide from his office. One of them. The other one, of course, be right behind the net. And now Markov. Now Stayarnay. Pacioretty is there. And that caught the safety netting. And so face-off goes out to the neutral zone. Mazda top shelf performers. Danny Briere makes his return to Philadelphia. So, of course, he's a top shelf performer.
Couple of shots on goal. Good face-off win there. Douglas Murray's been a hitting machine. He's throwing hits and taking hits throughout. Carey Price, Steve Mason both playing well in goal, and Voracek and Raffl, along with Giroux, taking care of the offense.
But it really has been a game about the defense, hasn't it? Just 18 shots allowed. Guys like Briere and some of the weapons for the Canadians have really been shut down.
They have, and it's similar to the first period against Chicago, who's loaded with weapons. They have 6 goal scorers with 10 or more goals on the season. There's only 52 guys in the league that have over 10 goals, and the Hawks have 6 of them.
Scary.
Depth, not an issue in Chicago.
Yeah, top team in the league in terms of points, as they seem quite intent on defending their title. That's us along with our great crew here from the Wells Fargo Center, bringing you the Flyers and Canadians. They will play one more time. It will be on January the 8th here in Philadelphia. Trying to even the season series. Canadians beat the Flyers 4-1 back in Montreal in what was the second game of the season for the Flyers. Flyers getting the puck deep into the Montreal zone. Subban has it. He'll be looking to really go to the attack, although he always is looking to go to the attack. Got that puck ahead to Gallagher, who tips it in and chases. Couturier back. Gallagher in the corner. Even in. And he get that puck out of there. Battle goes on. 3.5 remaining in the third. Even will just lift that one out to the neutral zone. Battle won by the Flyers. Now here's Lars Eller with the puck. To Gallagher, back to Eller. Eller turns with it. Gets it back out to Murray. Murray is shot deflected to the corner. Downey not get to that one. Gustafson's over there. And he's able to beat Pacioretty to it. And Gustafson will move it back. Reed shoveling that one out of the zone, and again, they're keeping it simple.
And those are the battles you have to win. Matt Reed did a very good job of getting that puck up and off the boards, and we'll try to do it again here as the Canadians D or pinch it.
And it'll be Giroux getting it to center. And then finally it does wind up down into the Montreal zone. Price to Subban. This pass is in the middle to Plekanec. Plekanec diagonally into the Philadelphia zone. Gustafson is there. He's quickly checked by Gianton. Chenyuk's in there as well. Chenyuk. And that Plekanec. Plekanec tried to center. Luke Schenn knocked it down, couldn't find it. 3 Canadian forwards behind the net, but it's Gustafson who moves it ahead to Voracek. Straight up the wall. Voracek to Raffl. To Voracek! Save Price! And from the side of the net, he stops him. Out in front, it comes Grossman. And he passed it. Giroux didn't have a stick. And the Canadians get the puck back.
Whoops.
And now look out, here's Briere moving up. Briere is shot, and that's deflected by Streit out of play.
Giroux had his stick ripped out of his hands, and Grossman did not realize that, as you can see the smile on Giroux's face. Outstanding job on the rush. Beautiful give and go between Raffl and Voracek, and then Subban kind of pulls the stick away from Giroux right there, and unbeknownst to Mr. Grossman.
Boy, I tell you, I can't tell you what a great save. We're strong enough to tell you what a great save that was right for Carey Price, because he had Voracek coming right off the wing. He had to come pipe to pipe and got his left pad on it.
Flyers with the 18-10 advantage in chances. Canadians win this draw, though. There's Georges wristing one into heavy traffic. Mason finds it and makes the stop, and again, no rebound.
A lot of traffic here for the Montreal Canadiens in this third period, and Steve Mason continues to look through it, find those loose pucks, and hold on to them to force some defensive zone faceoffs.
Let's take a look at our Bud Light player of the game, and
we'll get to that in a moment, Coatsy. As Hall wins this draw. Desharnais. USA chant goes up again, but look out here, Desharnais, a shot that's deflected, loose in front, Briere looking for it. And it bounces free, and finally it's Coburn. He's going to clear it all the way down, and it will go wide of the net. So it's icing as Diaz goes back.
Well, now we're ready for our Bud Light player of the game. And Michael Raffl gets his second goal of the game, but more importantly, or second goal of the season, but more importantly, the puck possession. His contribution to the line with Giroux and Voracek tonight. He was everywhere, as obviously he had mentioned to me that his confidence level is that much greater since scoring his first goal. And right there you can see he scored a beauty on a great pass into the slot.
Canadians have pulled the goaltender with 1:39 remaining on the third period clock. 6 skaters on 5. Off the draw, the Canadians control. Subban, deep Gianta, around behind. Galchenyuk unchecked. Will bank it back out to Subban. And now Markov the blast blocked. As Brayden Schenn got in the way of that, and now he's after the puck. Brayden Schenn along the wall. Even in there as well. Schenn gets knocked down, ends up without his helmet. The shot by Subban is blocked by Hall. Simmons from his stomach able to guide the puck down the ice.
Outstanding effort there by Wayne Simmons. He gets just enough of it to keep it from going for icing, and the Canadians will have to regroup again.
Subban to Gianta. Gianta centers. Grossman's right there, but he played right to Galchenyuk for a shot, and he scores! It had trickled across the line before it was rammed further, and the Canadians are within 1 as they pull the goalie, and they get their first goal of the hockey game. It's 2-1.
Craig Berube looks on here. A lot of traffic again in front of Steve Mason as Gianta just threw the puck to the net. Grossman and Gallagher end up in front of Steve Mason. The shot by Galchenyuk just finds enough to get past Mason, and then Gianta was there just in case Mason could get a hold of it before it went over the line.
No chance for Mason to see that. He's got Grossman right in front of him. He's got Gianta right in front of him. He just hopes that he can get a piece of it, which he did, but not enough to be able to hold it from going across the goal line.
Michel Therrien has called his timeout. 55 seconds remaining. And the Flyers are going to have to try to fight off the Canadians here in the final minute.
You can be sure it'll be the same group for Montreal on the ice after picking up the goal to get within 1. And one player will come back to the bench, and they'll wait for Carey Price for the opportunity to pull him once again.
Gianta and Subban get the assist on the Galchenyuk goal at 1904, 9th of the year for the 19-year-old. Now we settle in. Price back out on the ice as Couturier and Plekanec duel at center ice. And the Canadians control, and Price heads to the bench. Extra attacker is on just like that. Neiman will set it up the wall. It bounces to Reed. Reed will bank it. And it does squeak out to center ice. Played right back to Reed. They'll move it ahead. There's Couturier firing it wide. Could have cemented it. Did not. Canadians still live. Mechanics to the Philadelphia line. Timonen dumps a man. Simmons will play it to Coburn off his stick. Couturier trying to clear. And there's Simmons again batting it out to the neutral zone. Subban will get to Plekanec. 18 seconds on the clock. Sends it in, but from his side of the red line would have been icing, but Mason comes out to play it, so no icing. They play it all the way down the ice. This will be icing now as Subban dives and gets the call with 6.7 seconds remaining. So that hybrid icing will save a second or two.
Subban trying to get to the line to make sure he gets the whistle, and Steve Mason doing a good job of firing the puck around. It went past Markov, who was pinching in, but the referee felt like Markov was unable to make a play on that puck, and the faceoff will come all the way back in the Flyer zone.
Montreal wants some time put back on the clock. They're yelling at Greg Kimmerly to get some time back on.
Well,
he's already said it's back on.
One of the things you have here is it's the skates for the whistle, right? Not the stick.
Yeah.
So by diving, he actually slowed himself down, right?
I think the refs made the right call. The linesman made the correct call, and there is no change on the clock.
6.7 off the draw. Puck pushed ahead. It's still loose. Coburn finds it. Takes it to the wall, banks it off the glass, out to center ice. That'll do it. And now we got a scrum. Mason ends up with Gallagher. Gallagher now taking punches from Reed. And all of a sudden it gets wild and crazy as the horn sounds. Flyers have won the hockey game 2-1. But Gallagher ended up all tangled up with Mason.
The Canadians have an extra attacker on the ice because of that goaltender being pulled. Looks like cooler heads are going to prevail here before all heck breaks loose.
We got George Parros standing right beside me on this side of the red line to see what's going on here. Gallagher really mad at Reed, but all of a sudden after the game had been concluded, next thing you know it, Mason's getting mugged.
Yeah, Reed, I think, was just as angry at Gallagher as he really let Gallagher have it. Parros, who hasn't done much in this game on the ice, now trying to exert his will from his side of the red line. The officials have to be very careful here and keep both sides apart.
We got everybody right in front of me now. Parros and Downey having words. Simmons came over as the Montreal Canadiens all standing on one side, and the Flyers want to go over and congratulate their goaltender, but the Montreal Canadiens want to keep yapping.
And Downey was having his say as well, as you mentioned, Coatsy, but now these sides begin to skate away, and the Flyers can relish their 6th consecutive win on home ice.
Here's the incident. It was Giunta and Mason that got tied up. Mason a little shot to Giunta. Giunta turns around, and Gallagher jumps in and takes down the Flyers goaltender. Tiemann and Quick to come and help, and Matt Reed does the same, and he gets the gloves off in a hurry against Gallagher. Two little guys going at it there. Some great heart by Matt Reed and helping out his goaltender.
Ray Emery, congratulations for Steve Mason as he makes 20 saves and got involved in a scrum. Ray Emery, congratulations for that as well. As the Flyers get the victory, Mason played very well. So the Flyers 6 straight wins here on home ice. They also have won 6 straight here in this building against the Canadiens. 2-1 the final score here tonight. They come back to the road trip and do so in victorious fashion. And guess what? They head back out on the road. Head to the nation's capital. The red-hot Alexander Ovechkin and the Capitals await. Our coverage begins with the pregame show at 2:30 on Sunday. Puck drop just after 3 o'clock on Comcast Sports. Good one here tonight as the Flyers get a 2-1 win and get back in the winning track for the entire crew, as well as my partners Keith Jones and Steve Coates. I'm Jim Jackson. Good night from the Wells Fargo Center. Stay tuned now for Flyers post-game live presented by McDonald's.